Man does not live on bread alone. That's what first the Old Testament reading says. And Jesus himself, when tempted by the devil in the wilderness, quoted that, signifying its importance. Man does not live on bread alone. Remember this really funny episode of Mr. Bean. If you're not familiar with the Mr. Bean series, it's you want a good laugh, you can watch them. But there's this one episode where he was taking an exam, and this exam was either, or according to what he knew, it was either about calculus or trigonometry. What he did was concentrate on one, which was trigonometry. And then he found out, when the test started, he got the paper out, the questions were about calculus. And so, the rest of the story, or most of it, was about, him hilariously just flunking the exam. And then, in the last 2 minutes, the professor made an announcement that those who answered the trigonometry questions put their answers in the certain colored envelope, and those who answered the calculus questions put their paper in the white envelope. And then in the last 2 minutes, he was just scrambling and nervously tried to answer the questions, and then it ended. What happened? He focused only on one thing and ignored the rest of the other important things. In life, we need balance. We don't focus only on certain things just because the world dictates that we do. Now, it's not just once that I've heard of bodybuilders. I mean, they religiously and faithfully go to the gym, pump iron, build their frame, build their muscle, and then they get a stroke or they suffer other problems. Why? Because they focus on one thing. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But they focus on one thing and ignore the rest. Our life consists of not just bread alone. We don't live on bread alone. There are other things that we need in order to live. In order to live fullness of life. See, if we only get the partial, we won't get fullness of life. In fact, and this is taught in elementary school. We need, if you're a muscle builder, you only eat protein and protein and protein and then pump iron so that you build yourself up, thinking that you're healthy. But no, you need food that makes you go, glow, and grow. Protein is just one of the food groups, and you need the others to have a well-rounded, balanced life. In my age, I'm over 50. At my age, I still work out, not for aesthetics, not to look good, but for longevity, so that I can serve in the kingdom of God longer, so that I can be with my family longer, so that I can be productive longer. It's not about self anymore. It's about, you do things because you need to do them for the sake of others. In fact, I work out more now than when I was 25 years old. But we need balance. See, Jesus warned us about this. In the Sermon on the Mount, he told his disciples, the Gentiles pursue certain things, particularly material things, thinking that life consists only of those things. And he said, my Father created you, gave you life. He knows that you need these things. He does. But he also knows what can make your lives full. And he said, this is what you do. Seek first. So in fact, it's not just about balance, it's about priority too. Seek first the kingdom of God, and then all these other things will be added to you. God knows you need these things. God knows you need to eat food. God knows that. But if you only are consumed by one thing which you think will fulfill you and make your life full, then you are greatly mistaken. You need to attend to other things. In fact, you need to attend to more important things first, so that these other things will be given to you as well. Just like Solomon. Remember Solomon? He had the opportunity. It was like he discovered a genie in a bottle. When he prayed, God appeared to him in a dream, more than just a genie, appeared to him in a dream and told him, ask what you wish. I'll give it to you. What he did was not ask for just one thing that he needs in his life, which are riches, but he first asked for what he can use to be fruitful and productive in the kingdom of God, to do his will. What God did, true to what Jesus promised, what God did was he gave Solomon what he asked for, which was wisdom, so that he could use it to fulfill God's will and be a good king. But on top of that, he added to him riches that were beyond his imagination. And that's what will happen if we follow Jesus' order of priority. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Then all these other things will be added to you. And when you do that, what will happen is that you will not have enough storage space to accommodate what God has for you. I love what we prayed earlier in the collect of the day. It goes on and says, "O God, you have prepared for those who love you such good things as surpass our understanding, more than we can ask or imagine. Pour into our hearts such love towards you that we, loving you in all things and above all things." Priority. Love God first. Seek his kingdom and his righteousness first. Above all things, may obtain your promises, which again exceed all that we can desire. Like Jesus said in the gospel today, follow me first. Deny yourself first. Die first. Carry your own cross first. Daily do that. And then you will have fullness of life. May we learn, may we not hear the voice of the world, which is loud, but may we listen and incline our ear to the still small voice of God. Sometimes he speaks in a still small voice, sometimes he screams, but may we be sensitive to the voice of God through Jesus, because he's the way, the truth, and the life. We wish to find life. Let us follow him and heed his word and his voice. Then we will have fullness of life and discover the joy and the fullness of the way it is in the kingdom of our God.